Turn your Bibles now to the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verses 1 to 24. This is our chapter of the day, and this is also our Bible reading challenge. Verse 1 says, Then the Lord said to Noah, Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Verse 2, You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 each of animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Verse 3, Also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. Verse 4, For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face of the earth all living things that I have made. Verse 5, And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. Verse 6, Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was on the earth. Verse 7, So Noah with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Verse 8, Of clean beasts, of beasts that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. Verse 9, 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. Verse 10, And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. Verse 11, In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, on that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. Verse 12, And the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Verse 13, On the very same day Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them entered the ark. Verse 14, They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. Verse 15, And they went into the ark to Noah 2 by 2, of all flesh in which is the breath of life. Verse 16, So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Verse 17, Now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. Verse 18, The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. Verse 19, And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. Verse 20, The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. Verse 21, And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle, and beasts, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man. Verse 22, All in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life. All that was on the dry land died. verse 23. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. Last verse 24. And the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. So this is our chapter of the day, and this is also our Bible reading challenge. God bless you.